All right, we're asked to find the inverse of A. And here's our matrix, -2, 1, -3, 1. There are different ways we can do this. One is by doing reduced row echelon by hand, which is pretty tedious and takes some time. By doing that by using augmented matrix with the identity. Or there's a formula on page 104, and I've written it here. If my matrix is AB over CD, or ABCD, and then we're going to use this formula to find the inverse, which isn't too bad, and I've done that here. Then I'm also going to show you how to use your calculator. So let's start with the formula. Now remember, my A is going to be -2, the B is 1, C is -3, and D is 1. And we're going to plug those in. So here I have -2 times D, which is 1, minus B, which is 1, times C, which is -3. Plugged all that in. And again, then look here. We switch our A and D. So if you notice, these two switch. So 1, -2. And then our B and C stay there. However, we negate them. So we change their signs. So that becomes a +3. That becomes a -1. And then let's simplify. Of course, -2 times 1 is -2. A negative and a negative is a positive. 3 times 1 is 3. This becomes 1 over 1, which is just 1. So my inverse matrix just happens to be 1, -1, 3, -2. Now we're going to look at the same problem, except I'm going to use a TI-83 Plus. Now what we're going to do, we need to set up an augmented matrix with our matrix and then the identity matrix. Now what that looks like is I take our matrix, our original matrix. So remember, we're doing the same things that we're using a calculator. 1. And then I'm going to put our identity matrix in with the matrix A as an augmented matrix. So here's my matrix, here's the identity matrix. And remember, the identity matrix is zeros and ones, where ones are the main diagonal, and with a square matrix. Okay. All right, so we're going to put this into our calculator. So I'm going to do second matrix and scroll over to edit. And we're going to put this in here. Now you can see I have a matrix in there, but we don't want that one. We're going to put a new one. This is a 2 by 4. So 2 by 4. And -2, enter. 1, enter. 1, enter. And that's 0, good. -3 is good. 1 is fine. 0. And this should be 1. So just make sure this matrix looks like this one, and I think we're okay. Let me just double check it. Looks good. So we're going to do second quit, go back to matrix, click over. This time we're going to go to math, and we're going to look for that RREF, which is that reduced row echelon form. And we're going to put our matrix A, since that's the one we used, into it. So there's matrix A, and we're going to hit enter. And you notice, what did we get? This part right here. See how these kind of, our identity matrix switched to the left side? This is going to be my inverse matrix. That 1, -1, 3, -2. So using your calculator, or you can use the formula to find the inverse of a square matrix.